Hey, please like and subscribe. It's Daddy Steve. And shout out to Archer Syndicate. I just watched a bit of his video. Gave me the heads up for Belisarius. I'm going to have my own take on it, but definitely props to him. Very good, very good, very good. Okay, cool. So Belisarius Prime. As we can see, cavalry, versatility, mobility. Ooh. Obviously cavalry tree. I'm looking at thinking about trees. So cavalry tree, strong. Mobility tree is going to be the weakest there is. It's all based on obviously being fast, which I've said in too many videos. Being fast only gets you so far. It gets you there quickly, but once you get there, what? Then what? And versatility, well, I guess it just depends. Okay, let's look at it. Single damage. Okay, so I like my AoE, single damage. Deals direct damage to a target troop, maximum 2,400. I always use a comparator of Huan Yu, as you know, and Huan Yu's at 200, but Huan Yu does area effect damage to 3, but I'm not going to go into the skills of Huan Yu, but just want it as a comparator. Then for the next 2 seconds, the target loses 50 rage per second, otherwise known as 100 rage in total. If the target is surrounded, it is inflicted with the deception effect for 5 seconds. I know it says target. Do they mean target or do they mean if Belisarius is surrounded? But let's take them on their word. So, so so it's going to be you and all your armies, guaranteeing that the target is surrounded, right? Obviously, most of the time, U+1 means he's surrounded, right? It's inflicted with a deception effect for 5 seconds, which means his active skill requires 200 more rage to use. Ooh, not bad at all. Not bad at all. And again, I'm still thinking single. Listen, I don't want to get carried away. I mean, that is exciting because it's a different dynamic in the game. I don't want to get carried away though because it's still single attack damage. And I've got to keep in my mind as well, 2,400 damage to 1. But that one person will find it harder to trigger their active skill just because, as I say, it's gone effectively from 1,000 to trigger the active skill, the primary skill, to 1,200. Interesting. Ooh. In addition to the 50 rage that he loses per second for 2 seconds. So effectively, it's like climbing up to 1,300 in order to trigger the skill. So, listen, I can't stand calves. I'm an infantryman. Of course, he'll be silenced by Juan, you know what I mean, if we go into it. But for everybody else, let's read on. Press the advantage. The commander's cavalry units gain 30% attack, 20% march speed. Whenever the commander's troop exits combat, cavalry units in their troop gain 60% march speed for 5 seconds. Let's move on. I don't care about march speed. I just don't. Anyway, so to the last, for the reasons already said a million times, to the last man, this commander's cavalry units gain 25% defense. Whilst this commander's troop is on the map, whenever it launches a basic attack, there's a 10% chance to deal extra direct damage to the target, 500, and that means 90% chance not to, but if it did, it gets that extra 500. And with a cooldown of 5 seconds, bearing in mind that you're already doing 2,400, you could throw in another 500 on that from time to time. Not bad. To one target. So I'm just thinking, okay, even though it's not AoE, this is the main, this is the crux of the difference between AoE and single attack damage. For single attack damage to be relevant, it has to be significant to that one person that he's attacking, you know what I mean? So AoE, you're doing, say, Juan, 200, so 2,000, then it's, 1,7, then it's 1,4 to 3 people. So if you're only doing it to 1, that 1 has to be quite significant. And I think that's what they're trying to do. But they're going about it with that rage, increasing the rage bar and giving you rage reduction as well. Fascinating. You're going to see this person quite a lot. And although I'm not a cavalryman, I do understand the logic of him, and he's actually quite strong. Okay, Pacification of Nika. This commander's troop takes 10% less skill damage. Oh my gosh, that's quite nice. I'm gonna say that's quite nice. On top of everything else. If this commander's troop is attacking another troop on the map, and the target troop has less than 80% units remaining, which is going to be, well, 80% of the time in any battle, right? This this commander's troop deals 30% more skill damage. So most of the time, by the time your active skill triggers, it's probably going to be this pacification thing. Not all the time, but probably. Especially if that person's surrounded, like we were talking about before. Not necessarily, but there's a chance. And then you're going to do 30% on top of the 2,400 that you're already doing, and the previous skill where you probably may well be doing another 500 damage, 10% of the time with the 5-second cooldown. Very interesting. Anyway, yeah. Ooh. Yeah, just processing in my brain. I literally just seen this for the first time. Okay, Roman devotion. If the current target of this commander's troop is surrounded, which, as I said, is going to be most of the time, but not necessarily all the time, increases the target's damage received based on the number of troops surrounding it. 3 troops, 6% more damage. Wow. 4, and I'm still thinking about the main thing I'm thinking about is that 2,400 active damage, I'm guessing. Can't, I guess it could. It might mean that extra 500 damage or the one above. The Pacification of Nika, maybe it means that as well, but I would have thought it just meant active damage for simplicity. But we don't know, obviously. And if there's 5 troops, 12% more damage, just, woo, very interesting. Very interesting. And it is powerful, even though it's single. This is where they gotta go to get my interest for single target damage commander. I'm not gonna rule him off. I'm not ruling BELISARIUS out. Really, what I'm thinking is how well am my army's going to stack up. It's only Kuan Yu that can stack up because he could silence his main skill, which renders everything else, and he's got the natural advantage over Cavs. But everybody else, that'd be a great addition. The more you think about it, it's a great addition, of course. Just as a control, just to control their rage, and as you get through the people you're trying to attack, it's obviously useful to control their rage and just work your way down. I think maybe you've got to have it. Maybe he's an essential. Probably is. Is there anything else? That's it. I may well be invested in BELISARIUS. Interesting. Am I a Cavman now? Wow. Anyway, please hope it's exciting. Anyway, please like, subscribe. Daddy Steve, and I am out.